AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
Did you know that driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal? Driving high will get you a DUI. And if you're wondering if law enforcement can tell you're driving high, well, everyone else can. Friends?
I can tell you drove high.
Parents?
I can tell when you drive high.
Relatives?
I can tell. You drove here high, didn't you?
So what makes you think law enforcement can't?
I can tell.
If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
Happy holidays! Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a Happy Holiday.
Trojan family, what's up? Welcome to the USC LAFB show. Here in the LAFB Network, I'm your host, Ryan Dyrud. Thank you, as always, for making this a part of your day. I'm up in Big Bear with the family, enjoying some family time for the weekend. But hey, double breaking news for USC. Just had to jump on here really quickly just to break it down and keep everyone in the loop. So first, they're both equally important, I think. But first, Makai Lemon is your Biletnikoff winner, the nation's best receiver for 2025. Absolutely should have won the award. For all those Ohio State fans and all those just fans of Jeremiah Smith, I've said this many times. I don't know how much more I can break it down. This is not a talent award. This is not a highest ceiling award. This is an award for the best 2025 season, and Makai Lemon had the best 2025 season. When you look at it statistically, when you look at it what he meant for USC in the offense, he was much more important to USC being 9-3 than Ohio State being 11-1. Now, take that however you want to take it. Many will say, well, USC is not in the playoff, yada, yada, yada. Sure, that's something you could say, but from an individual standpoint, Makai Lemon meant more to USC this year and did more on the field than what Jeremiah Smith did in 2025. Jeremiah Smith is an unbelievable player. You could argue maybe the best collegiate player, not just receiver. But in 2025, he was not. Makai Lemon was. So this isn't projections. This isn't draft projections. This isn't who coaches are scheming for, which I think any coach would tell you they don't want to scheme against Makai Lemon either. This is purely the best receiver of this college season, and that was Makai Lemon. So hats off. What an outstanding year for him. The body of work was incredible. It was just so fun to watch him and cover him. Such a great young man, being a local guy. Los Alamitos, recruited as a receiver and a cornerback. If you remember, his freshman year, he played like 2 games at corner because the depth was so thin and the guys were injured for USC. And there was a lot of thought that they were going to just transition to cornerback. He looked really good out there, really fluid, obviously a great athlete. His size maybe was a little bit more for a prototypical cornerback. So there was some thought going into his sophomore year that we would see Makai as a cornerback moving forward. And man, here we are now, and he is the best receiver in college football with just an unbelievable season. He'll be a first-round draft pick this year, probably the first receiver taken in the draft. I've seen some mocks have him go as high as 7 overall. I think that would be to the Jets at this point. So certainly NFL scouts believe the same. And just hats off to just such a great young man. And, shout out to Dennis Simmons, shout out to Chad Savage, shout out to Lincoln Riley and the entire staff that, was with him every day. And, Lincoln Riley, we talked to him in a press conference a few weeks ago, and I can't remember who asked it, so I apologize, but one of my colleagues asked kind of, what makes Makai Lemon so good and so special. And, a lot of coaches always give kind of the normal answer, but Coach Riley really went into like his preparation, what he does, in the film room, just his consistency of always being the same guy that shows up day in and day out to put in the work to be as great as he can be, not taking plays off, being a great blocker in the scheme as well. We've seen him develop as a blocking receiver, which goes so far in the NFL, especially when you think of like being here in Los Angeles and you look at like the Rams and what they require from their receivers in terms of blocking assignments. Mekhi Lemon can do that in spades. So shout out Mekhi Lemon, just an awesome day for him and winning that award. Next breaking news, Waymond Jordan this morning announced from Matt Zenitz from 24/7, and I believe also Pete Nakos of Rivals officially announced that Waymond Jordan signed a deal to come back to USC. Not surprising, when we saw Brian Jackson enter the transfer portal and just a couple days ago, true freshman Harry Dalton into the portal, that really to me signified that Waymond Jordan was coming back because of how deep this room was. Those two guys, love them both, Trojans for life, but they wanted to go seek opportunities to get more playing time because Waymond Jordan coming back, he is your starting running back. King Miller is your RB 1A, B, whatever you want to call it, 1B. And then you have, some more depth pieces with Riley Wormley. I was reminded, I kind of forgot for a second, I was reminded by someone in the comments a few days ago that, John Johnson got transitioned from the defensive backfield to the offensive side of the ball to be kind of that flex player, running back, slot receiver. So I'm really excited to see kind of his development in the offensive system, what he'll look like. And we saw him get quite a few reps at the end of the year, kind of in that pseudo flex position, if you call it. And then, like I mentioned, Riley Wormley, and then obviously the two true freshmen coming up, Sean Alston and Deshaun Rideau, who are going to be contending for playing time right off the bat. So huge news though. Waymond Jordan was, you could argue, the best running back in the Big Ten before he got injured. Certainly, in that top echelon with the Michigan backs. He was right there before he got injured in that Michigan game. And so getting him in another full offseason, getting fully healthy, I think is only going to do great for not only his draft stock, but obviously great for this USC Trojans team as they can lean on him as that kind of 3-down between the tackles back. And then you've got, a lot of good depth with King Miller, who's going to get a lot of reps as well, as he should. And then Riley Wormley, a real true change of pace speed back with the other guys I mentioned as well. So great news that he is officially coming back. Now, will we see him in the bowl game? I think we will. He's past the timeline of his injury, so should be good to go. He was questionable for both the last two games, didn't end up playing, but looked like he was close. Now with the extra, 4 weeks since the last game till their December 30th Alamo Bowl game, many will say, hey, don't take the risk, just go into the offseason. But these bowl games now are so important for almost like the jump start to the next season. And so, with kind of the shuffling of the offensive line, with some different pieces on offense, it might do good to get him some reps. I'm not expecting 25 carries, but if he can go 3 or 4 series just to get his feet under him in a real game situation, I think that will really set him up going into the offseason much better than sitting out the game and waiting until all the way next fall. So I expect him to play, but we'll know more as we get closer and as they start actually begin these bowl game practices that hopefully we'll able to talk to the coaching staff and whatnot. So anyway, want to jump on here quick. So Mekhi Lemon, shout out, Biletnikoff winner, and Waymond Jordan officially coming back for another season to play running back for your USC Trojans. I'm Ryan Dyer. Thank you as always, guys. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Let's keep this thing growing. And as always, fight on. Hey, Trojan family, thank you so much for hanging out and watching the USC LAFB show. Before you go, let me tell you quickly about our friends over at Sleeper. Go right now, download the Sleeper app. It's the #1 sports app, not just for season-long fantasy, but they've got live pickers, they've got live stat updates, they've got a chat that you can chat with other users, plus the daily pick'em, which is a blast, or daily fantasy, whatever you want to call it. You go and pick 2 to 8 players across any sports. If you're talking USC, go choose J.D. Maiava in his next matchup. Pick more or less passing yards, more or less touchdowns. You stack those, and you can win real money. When you go to make your first deposit, make sure you use our promo code USCLAFB. You're going to get a match deposit up to $100. Put in $100, you get $100 free to play with from Sleeper. Put in $10, they'll match you that $10, so now you're sitting at $20 to play with. But also, right now, for any new users, no deposit required. You get $20 free entry. You can stack both. You can get the $20 for free. Go make a deposit. Use USC LAFB, and now you've got a bunch of free money to play with right there on the Sleeper app. Check it out, Trojan family. And when you do, tell them the guys at the USC LAFB sent you.
Happy holidays! Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a Happy Holiday. If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.